going on, everyone? It's Bales, and welcome back to another AFL Fantasy Trade Talk on a Wednesday, as we always do. So we'll go through the most traded in and out players, and then we'll go through my top 5 targets, and I'll also mention what my trades look like in the middle of the week. So let's get stuck straight in. So the most traded in player this week, Jacob van Rooyen. It's no surprise, had a fantastic game in his debut with 76, kicking 3 goals. 12.3k coaches have brought him in so far. So, yeah, I think he's a great option. Negative 11 break even. If you can afford to bring him in at 238k, I think it's well worth doing it because he's got a great run. Melbourne have got a good run coming up, so he should stay in the team as well for the short term and make some good cash. So I do like bringing him into your team, and I think he is the number 1 rookie option this week. So good option to bring in. Will Day, 7.4k coach have brought him in. Mid-pricer that's just been fantastic. As I mentioned in the review, he's currently in my team. He just looks a completely different player to what he has in previous years. He looks stronger, looks bigger. I mentioned it as well a few times that he took that hit from Griffin Logan. In previous years, he would have been injured and probably subbed off or whatever, but he was able to take the hit, get back up and score more points. So I really do like him as an option, and it's still not too late to get him. I know he's over 650k now. I think he's 671 from memory, his price? 671, yeah. I still don't think it's too late. I think you can still bring him in and he'll be a good mid-pricer for you and make some good cash. So I would be looking at him. Tom Stewart as well, 5.4k coaches bringing him in, 126 in his return game on the weekend. Look fantastic, and yeah, I think he's good to go. So the only slight flag that I've got is maybe does McGuinness go to him on Monday, Easter Monday? So that's the one concern I do have with him. But yeah, that is the one small concern I have with him. But besides that, he's cheap. This is exactly the type of players that we look for at this time of year. These underpriced premiums because of an injury or change in role or whatever. And Tom Stewart is that. So great option to bring in if you can get him this week. Josh Fahey, 2.9k coaches are bringing him in at the moment. Obviously hasn't been confirmed to debut, but I think he will. 40 disposed on the past weekend against Carlton's VFL side, 153 fantasy points. So, yeah, I would imagine he'll be brought in. And if you need a 200k player, I think he's a great option. Defender mid as well. Potentially, you could loop him on and see how he goes. You could loop him. Obviously, Chess is not playing, so he could be part of like a loop if you want to do that. So, yeah, I think you can do all right. Clayton Oliver as well, 2k coach have brought him in. Coach is spending $1.04 million on him. I'm not quite sure I'd be spending that on him, but then not on him, actually. I just don't know if I'd be spending over $1 million on a player at this current moment when we try and upgrade our teams. But he's got an amazing run, and yeah, if you can get up to him, I think he's still going to be good for you, and he's going to be a great captain option week in, week out. So, yeah, still very, very good player. Jack Bytel, 1.8k coach is bringing him in. I think he'll come back into St Kilda's side, and he is a good option at, I want to say 340. I thought it was about 370, but 340. So, yeah, good option to bring in. Nick Dacos as well has looked the goods, and he's just going to continue looking the goods, isn't he? He's an amazing player. So if you can bring him in, grab him. Brody Grundy as well. Bit of a differential in the ruck as well. A few people go for Darcy Cameron too. Brody Grundy. West Coast this week should cash in straight away and be a high-scoring player this week. So, and then Cozzy Pickett as well is the other one. 1.5k coaches are bringing Cozzy Pickett in. So don't mind him as a little bit of a differential mid-pricer. 20 break-even. Got a great run coming up. But you could wait a week to see how he goes. But yeah, don't mind him after scoring a 120 in the first game. Most traded out players. So Charlie Constable. Let's see, I like that. 5 of the top 6 I've currently got on my side. So that's always fantastic. Charlie Constable, 9.4k coaches are trading him out. Yeah, unless he gets named, I think he is a trade out. He's a must trade. So, yeah, fingers crossed he can get named, but I don't hold out too much. As Roy said, 8% on the podcast is probably dropping. So not great. Finn Callahan, 6.5k coaches are trading him out, and I find it's good reason to trade him out. Break even to 48, scored 48 last week, stuck out in a wing. Yeah, just doesn't quite have that sort of... We thought we'd get a little bit more CBAs from him, but yeah, just not quite happening for him. So I'd be happy trading him. James Warple, 5.4k coach to trading him out. So again, first week he looked great. Pre-season looked great. Unfortunately, last 2 weeks it's been more of a 50-50 split mid-forward. Just not getting those CBA numbers that we were seeing. And yeah, 51 break even now, and Geelong tough matchup. So if you want to move him on, you can. I think he's a lower priority than a Callaghan and Constable, but if Warple gets you to a better player, then I would look at doing that. Darcy Cameron, 4.9k coach, got to trade him out again. Another forced trade now, ruck department. I know a fair few coaches have went from your Cherry to your Gawn, then to Darcy Cameron. So I hope that those coaches you trade to a ruck and they can actually play for you and actually score. I hope they go 150 for you, because no one deserves that type of luck. So but Darcy Cameron's got to go. He's out for at least 6 weeks with an MCL injury. Mateus Philippou, 3.7k coaches are moving on from him as well. It's probably a week or two too early for him, but break even of 30. He's averaging 45. It's getting close to, you can cull him. I'm hoping a 60 score's not too far around the corner so he can start generating a little bit more cash. But I'm not exactly too sure playing that deep forward role. So you can move on from him if you so wish. Andrew McGrath, 2.5k coach, moving on him. Again, I can see the appeal moving him onto a Sicily or a Dacos or even a Tom Stewart. I'm not really moving him on for the next couple of weeks just because he's averaging 83. Those top defenders are averaging 95-ish. He's not too far off. He's not losing cash. He's not making cash. He's just there. I think there's other priorities like your Constables, Callaghan's, Warples. I think and Dom Sheed, who we'll speak about in a second. So I think that they're more of a priority than a McGrath. But if you don't have anything else to do, then you can get rid of him and get him up to a better defender. Jason Horne-Francis was obviously one of the other ones, 2.3k coaches. I think is happy to move him on. Played well in the first week with a 90, had a big quarter in that to do that, and the last 2 weeks he hasn't scored too great. So moving him on to another player like a Zeeble still, I think that's still a good play, is a good option. Dom Sheed as well, 1.7k coaches moving off of him. Again, he scored 72, had all the opportunity in the world last week to have a big score, and he saved it late. He was on, I think, 20 points at halftime or 24 points at halftime and ended up on a 72. So, I think you can move on him. And Brendan Cox as well. A few coaches started with him, or brought him in, hasn't been too great since he had that big score round 1, but was poor last week. I think, what did he have? Did he get in was it in the 20s? 25. He needs to go. And then Bodie Uland as well, 1.5k coach, is still moving on the red dot. And then Campbell Chester as well as the other guy there with the injury. So in terms of my top 5 targets for the week, I think number 1, I think it's got to be Jacob van Rooyen. He's the obvious rookie to bring in this week. 238k is still cheap. Good run of fixtures. I think he'll be in the team for the foreseeable future. So, I do like him as a pick. Number 2 is a tough one because this is a tough week. A lot of options you could consider bringing in. I think number 2, I would just go Will Day for those coaches that don't have him. I think still 671k, it's not too late to bring him in. He's still a good option and averaging 106. And could he be a top sort of 6 to 10 defender? I think he can the way he's going, and we don't have too many defenders playing that inside mid role or just playing midfield in general. So I think he's a good option and will continue to make money. Plus, he could be a keeper for, well, maybe not the whole season, but at least for passer-bys. So still a very good option. Coming at number 3, if Josh Fahey gets named, you could probably say he's number 3 just because 200k defender mid, good flexibility. We might lose a couple there. Chess is obviously going to be out. Constable, if he doesn't get named, will be out. Lockie Cowan, if he gets dropped for a Chincotta, that's another guy that we might have to consider. So, I think Josh Fahey, if he comes in, I think he's a good option to bring in at 200k, and he looks like he could score pretty well. So, I would probably put him at number 3. Number 4, I would probably put Tom Stewart, just for the value of 757. I think I'd put him there. Good match against the Hawks as a flag potential tag, but I think even regardless, I think he'll still put up a solid enough score and be in and around those top 6 defenders and his value. So I'd put him at number 4. And I think at number 5, I would go who I'm looking at bringing this week, which I'll go to my trades in a sec. But Josh Kelly, if you can pay up for someone around that 900k range, or he's 899k, I'd be look at bringing him in. 91 the first round, and that was early in the last quarter. He was on track for a 115 plus score. Got a 126 against Carlton last week. Got the Bombers this week, and then Hawthorn next week. Couple of good matchups. I really like him as an option if you can get him. I'll definitely be getting him. And then the other guy that would probably just be outside the top 5 be a Jack Bytel as well. If he does get named against Gold Coast this week, break even to 7, 340k, will make good money as a rookie price player. So yeah, you can definitely look at bringing him in. So plenty of good targets this week, but plenty of guys that we have to be looking at moving out, especially like those mid-price, like your Warples, your Sheeds, your not really McGrath, but Horn Francis, Callahans, Constables, and then May McGrath. So yeah, plenty of guys to move on, but then you've also got some good options to bring in. So in terms of what I'm doing this week, so it's still the same as what I said on the Monday. So when I went through my team review, I'm still looking at going a Finn Callaghan down to a Josh Fahey on the bench, and then going a James Warple all the way up to Josh Kelly. That's what I'm looking at doing. Tom Stewart and Nick Dacos still in the mix. I may want to get Van Rooyen. I put him as my number 1 target for the week, so I might want to follow my own advice there and get him in. So I will see how I go, but at the moment it is Josh Kelly coming in with Josh Fahey. So a couple of Giants coming into my team this week. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are looking at doing with your trades this week. Let me know if you've got any trade questions or anything like that. Put them in the comments below, or any other questions. Hit me up either there or on any of my socials like Twitter or Instagram. All links to those are in the description below. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I think we moved past 820 subscribers. I think we're on 820 subscribers now, so we're continually slowly moving up. So appreciate all the support you guys show. I'll be back later on tonight for another daily news recap. Might be a little bit later. I've got a university assignment to finish off, so it could be a little bit later than usual, but I'll try and get out there so you guys can watch it and catch up on the news from today. So until then, I'll catch you guys in that video. I'm out. Cheers.